Ready, set, go.
Oh yeah, Connor, by the way, I am playing Outlast, so...
That's fine. If you need to do something to keep your brain busy, that's totally fine. It's gonna be like 60% like deep conversations and 40% Bonk freaking out because he's playing a horror game.
I'm also playing Minecraft, so there might be some yelling.
That would
be Fortnite running in the background too.
Nice. I love it. So I have up here a list of deep conversations, and there are different, like, sections.
Oh, there we are.
Sections, okay.
So we have personal questions, questions about human questions about human nature,
Oh boy.
questions about, it says society, culture, and the world, but they're pretty much, like, political questions. We have questions about life and death.
Yes.
Questions about the future of the human race.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Questions about emotions. And that's it.
A little too personal.
It's a total of about 58 questions.
Unfortunately, I couldn't copy and paste the entire thing because there
No,
was
of course
ads
not.
in the whole thing, because there was ads between everything, and I'm like, I don't want to put ads on the wheel because that
Yeah.
makes no sense.
Yeah.
So I gotta do them individually.
Wait, are you doing every question?
Yes.
Oh. I thought you were just putting like the categories into the wheel.
No. I'm doing every question.
Okay.
Him we're talking about.
All right.
I mean, would you like me to
There's
just
a reason
that it was gonna
You-
take a while?
You keep
Yeah.
doing what you want to do, man.
Like, I don't really know. You didn't give me specific instructions, and because
I
of that,
figured
I just go with the best bet.
I figured because I remember I was like there are sections, and then you asked, do you want me to put these onto a wheel? And I was like, well, obviously they're not talking about putting almost 60 different questions onto one wheel. She's probably talking about just putting like the 8 or 9
I mean, I can do that. I can just delete all of this.
No. I don't.
No, I don't mind. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
Let me just delete it all. It's fine.
No!
You know her. She likes to complicate things.
Wow.
Oh, I love it.
I just put the last
Why
question
does life always gotta be so complicated?
I had just put the last question in too. Right as you were like, well, here's this explanation. Just the categories. And I'm like, oh, sure, fuck, all right, let's do it. Totally prepared, ready to go. Yeah, 58 entries. Let's do this shit.
Fuck yeah.
I love it.
Tim, you could do a data entry.
I know I could, but no one wants to give me a fucking job. Been talking for 17 minutes. Let's do this. The wheel is up and ready to roll.
Oh, wow.
Okay?
Very nicely done. Okay. Spin the wheel.
Let's do it.
Spin the wheel.
Wheel of Deep Conversations.
Wheel of depressive thoughts.
No.
Should the government be involved in making laws to regulate moral behavior? If so, to what extent?
Wow.
Technically, they already are in certain aspects.
Isn't that what laws are for?
Like in certain things, definitely.
No law. Only goose. No law. Only violence. No law. Only cheese.
See, I like where your head is at, Bonk, but also
My head is so far up my own ass, you have no idea.
I don't think I want to have an idea.
It's because he's got a really long neck being a goose. It makes it easier for him.
Oh, that's fair.
Honk. Just a very muffled.
no.
Oh,
Um,
but like on certain things it definitely already does. But the biggest thing is morals change throughout like the lifetime and whatnot. Especially considering looking back at like child labor laws back in the day, because like that used to be 100% moral, 100% normal kind of thing.
yeah,
But even though people were getting
My
hurt,
name is
so.
Billy. I'm 5 years old and I work in the coal factories.
yeah,
I have
Alright,
severe lung
continue.
damage.
Yeah.
I have asbestos. I don't even know what that is. That ain't even around here yet.
well, it's the kind of like vicious cycle of like circumstances determine morals and values, and then
And
those
education.
and then those determined morals and values prolong determined circumstances.
Yeah. No, that's exactly it. It is, and education is the only way to truly break certain cycles of destruction too.
Yeah, but it's hard to make that the way that it works if those same morals and values are the things that are influencing how we educate.
Yeah.
Which is going to be hard to get out of, considering most people believe what they've been taught for such a long time.
Yeah,
Um, depending on where you're from, where you live,
Mhm.
yeah,
the story is so different, and it's like to ever go back and correct that would have to be basically wipe everybody out who, or wipe everybody's memories of what they've learned in the world and reteach them everything. And
Sure.
you've got to find people to teach them then at that point.
yeah,
Find
Yeah,
people who are open-minded enough to teach not only their side, but the other side as well. So
The
that
internet's
people
been
can
really good
understand.
for that too. So.
Oh yeah, there's a lot more people who are way more tolerant than they used to be. Agreed.
Oh, and just the fact of information is so easily accessible now too. 'Cause I remember like joining Tumblr back in like 2012, and like that shit radicalized me.
Someone been radicalized on my end, but definitely changed a lot of perspectives.
YouTube,
Okay, for like
I
context though
changed
too.
them. Yeah.
YouTube
definitely.
very much radicalized me.
And in good ways, because yeah, like
Yeah,
for context, I met my first queer person in 8th grade, and I was convinced up until that time that The Sims made it up, amongst other things, that girls can't kiss girls, boys can't kiss boys. No, that's
Yeah.
not allowed. And then my best friend came and vibe checked me with a lot of information, and I was like, oh shit, I'm one of them. So.
yeah. I feel like if they gave out like, I feel like if they gave out like school awards for just general like life stuff, I feel like I would have gotten like a most improved student award at some point. Cuz I remember watching American Idol, and it was the season with Adam Lambert,
Oh,
Oh yeah.
and I loved Adam Lambert. He's so cool, got a great voice, and then I found out he was gay. And I was like, "Ah, man, that's a shame. I liked him." And now,
Yeah.
you know, some almost 10 years later, I'm like, that I'm so glad that that's no longer a negative point for me anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I actually have his music on my phone now. His newest album slaps.
See,
For your
that was-
entertainment,
that was
always slaps.
honestly me. That was honestly me when I was watching that season. And then now I'm older, I was like, fuck, I'm gay.
I'm queer as hell. And it's unlearning all the things that you initially learned too. Like this, my favorite
Yeah.
quote that I live by, and I tell a lot of people when they're just like, "I'm such a hypocrite. I'm learning things." I was like, no. The first thought you have is what you've been conditioned to think. What your second thought is who you actually are.
Sure. I mean, I would say
such
it's
as I'm on the
Okay.
subway and I see somebody and I'm just like, "Huh, danger." No, that is just what you've been convinced to think. That is a person going to work very clearly.
Maybe-
Mind your
Maybe I
business.
am really, maybe I'm really an orphan crippler. Fuck.
oh no. I would say it's more the third thought that
Yeah.
comes, because a lot of the time, like, not just collectively but individually, there's a lot of like pendulum swinging,
Oh yeah.
um, where I'll yeah, I've and this happens to me on a daily basis where like one day I'll be like, yeah, I'm absolutely still a Christian and I totally believe in the existence of God. And then other days I'll be like, I don't think so. I don't.
We lost him.
Yeah.
That's a full philosophical like way of thinking. It's what you call determinism, and basically it's the idea that depending on what situation you are in or what you are doing, your views of morality change.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're about to hit somebody, but this person is a genuinely bad person, where your morals change. Like, before you know they're a bad person, you might not want to hit them because you don't know what they're like or what they do. But once you learn that information, your moral all of a sudden changes, and you're more okay with hitting a person.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, there are some people who don't have that ability. The people who have the ability to determine whether or not they are morally in the right are generally more rounded, more able to deal with situations as they come.
Mm-hmm.
They're not stuck in a specific moral grounding, right? You can change your mind.
Yeah.
That's why, when you look at a multiple choice situation or a quiz with personality and nothing applies, you're like, well, it
Yeah.
depends on the situation. Like,
Yeah.
why would this be this?
Hmm.
These all really loop back to the same question here. Is human nature constant, or is it molded by culture? Can human nature be completely changed by culture or society?
I don't think
We
we
live in
can
a
know
world-
that yet.
It's hard. I mean, definitely.
Again, change is inevitable. Growth is optional. Do you stick in your same minded way, or do you choose to choose to learn things? That's actually one of the things again we learned in sorry, excuse me. My education classes is a really good metaphor to explain cognitive dissonance to things, which is one of the reasons education can be so difficult in certain things.
Right.
Is say that you have a bookshelf for all of your knowledge, and you've already got your various books sitting around your bookshelf of your knowledge and your things. When you're presented a new information, you can catalog it and put it close to wherever the other information is on that shelf. And your shelf can get bigger and bigger and bigger, or you can add additional shelves.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing about cognitive dissonance is when you are given a piece of information that doesn't fit anywhere on your bookshelf, you have a choice. You can either purchase an entirely new bookshelf and go through the process of setting it up and saying, like, all right, this is something I want to learn, this is something brand new. Or you can say, this doesn't fit anywhere, therefore it's not real, and yeet that book as far as you can.
Right.
And then get angry because it doesn't fit on your bookshelf, therefore.
And then
Because for a lot of people, setting up that entirely new bookshelf is a very stressful situation and is not always desired.
yeah. And if anyone else seems to have the same book, you get mad.
Yeah. So therefore, your bookshelf is fake because my bookshelf is perfect.
Yeah. That's that's like I remember a bit from Game Grumps. I think they were playing Dark Souls, and at some point Aaron was like, I think there's been disagreements ever since the first two humans existed. It just started out with someone being like, "What? You're not me." What the hell?
Why are you not me?
You should
Long
be
ago,
more
the
me.
first-
Why aren't you me?
Long ago, the first humans formed an opinion. That has not gone well since.
Yeah, there it is.
It was all downhill from there.
Oh god. Everything changed when the humans could think.
I don't think
Jokes on
we.
you, I still can't.
You're
Back
not
at
human, Bonk.
ADHD, there's no thoughts.
I don't think we can really have like an answer for can human nature change when we're still trying to figure out what the frick human nature is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
I think people inherently want to care about and care for other people. And as things in their life happen, they find reasons not to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think as a self-defense mechanism, people learn not to care about other people. Because humanity, if we didn't inherently care about each other, we would not live in the societies and the cities that we have always lived in, because people naturally come together to live in groups.
Right.
And I think that people inherently want to care about each other, and we try to reach out to each other. And when we are rejected or when we are not given those chances to be close to people, that is when people start pulling away and starting to close themselves off from other people, and that's when they stop caring about other people.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't mind
Lived
me, I'm just
experience
exploring this
affects
principle.
it.
Well, we have the capacity to care. We are fragile creatures, unfortunately, that when hurt, we learn that hurt is a bad thing.
And
Yeah.
we then learn how to avoid it,
Exactly.
Fuck you, Grandma!
even if that means being cruel and hurting other people.
Exactly. Because at the
Sorry,
end,
I'm laughing at Bonk.
it's fine.
Oh no. Oh wow.
Sorry, what were you saying, Kim?
Just that at the end of the day, I don't personally think this is true, but I know a lot of people do think this is true. That we are inherently selfish.
Hmm.
While we care and we want to take care of others and support others, because we've learned from experience that others can hurt you, we've become selfish to save ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I also think there are people who, you know, are trained out of that selfishness, for better and for worse.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, absolutely.
There are the people who are like they're only can only be happy because of other people.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. Right here, dude. That's right here.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm going to self-sacrifice for everyone's happiness except mine. And now I'm sad because everything else is happy, and now for some reason I'm not.
Yeah.
I
Mm,
can't fix that though. I can't fix that. No.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That makes me
I'm learning one of the hardest things for me to that I've been like learning over the past year has been to like how to stick up for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like how to actually like take action when I feel like something is being wrongly said to me or if I'm being treated unfairly. It's really, really
Mood.
easy for me to just be like, I mean, maybe I deserve that, and then just keep moving.
Just roll with the punch and not do anything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mood.
And obviously, I haven't completely learned it, but It's been interesting being in this sort of midway point of it's becoming more of a habit, but
Self-advocacy is also exhausting too.
it is.
It is. It is terribly exhausting. But it's ugh,
especially when
it's worth it in certain aspects.
it takes more forms than just like quote unquote self-care. Like it's
Yes.
easy to like go out and say I'm treating myself because I deserve it. It's an entirely different thing to be like I need to talk to this friend because I don't think they realize how much they hurt me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Confrontation of any sort, whether it's with yourself or for advocacy or just to like even have that tough talk with somebody that you love and care about. It's exhausting and it's terrifying and amplified, especially if you've got like something like what I have and is the rejection sensitivity of any sort of literally any sort of sense of disapproval or being excluded, and you melt down and you cry a little bit because you're just like, oh yeah, my friends aren't playing online,
Yeah.
and therefore they want to play a different game, therefore they don't want to play with me anytime anymore, and I'm just like, meh.
Yeah.
But no, that's, they already told you that they're gonna go play that other game and they gave you that timeline.
Yeah. Uh like fear of rejection is something that like I was inevitably going to have to work out. Like I want to be an actor.
Yep.
So,
Learn about failure.
yeah, you kind of have to like build up like such a thick skin of not just it's okay like it's okay that they didn't want me. Like
Yeah.
I've had to swing a certain like sometime a lot of the time like I have to adopt the stance of if they don't want me in their play, it's their loss.
Yeah.
Which works some of the time. Inevitably, there's gonna be points, maybe like you know, every so often where it you go to like you send 50 emails for whom maybe 20 of them get back to you. Maybe two of those actually give you an audition, and then it's not even a 50-50 chance of getting one of those jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna, no matter how emotionally healthy you are, that's gonna wear on you. And it's gonna get to a
Oh,
certain
yeah.
point where like, I know I'm talented. I know that I would be like a gift to have on set. Why don't they think so?
Yeah.
And you got
Yeah.
part of it is, yeah, you definitely got to wait for your break. And then there's another part that's like, so if you take a look at your situation and where you're at,
Yeah.
accepting the fact that this just wasn't the right spot for you.
That was one
Is
of the
too
hardest
hard to do.
things the past number of months. Like
Yeah.
I knew I kind of was aware of the fact that like, quitting my job in September in order to try and invest in an acting career during a pandemic was not,
Yep.
not the smartest investment. Uh, but I was like, I'll find something, and then I
Yeah.
didn't. And it was this like Cineplex was my the second occurrence of me being like, I'm gonna put a pause on pursuing what I want to do and take a normal job to pay the bills. So,
And then I said it worked out like a liar.
well, the thing is like quitting Cineplex was the easy part, and then having this long time of like that's the last time that I'm gonna do just a regular job just to pay the bills. The next job that I want to do has to be something that I want to do. And
My sister is actually in that situation right now.
yeah, and it took a lot of coaxing, largely from Alicia, to be like, now is not the time to expect yourself to find an acting career. Most of our acting teachers took years after their bachelor's before they started making any real money on it.
Oh yeah.
Like, shifting from, like, forgiving myself for failing to find an acting job more to giving myself more time to get to a position where I'm like more postured toward success has been very difficult.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. So the question was, who are you really?
There's more to it.
Oh, boy.
There's more to it. It's the first part of it is who are you really? Who is behind the mask that you show to the rest of the world?
Hmm.
Oh.
A little personal. Understand?
I'm gonna make it real personal here.
Do it.
I don't know,
Hmm.
because I have been dealing with mental problems for many years between ADHD, anxiety, depression, that when you take those things away and the things that I do just to deal with it, I don't know who I am and I don't know if I will.
Hmm. That's fair.
And that's something that I know not everyone can agree with, but like, I've been dealing with so many things for so long that I just don't know what's me and what's the things in my brain, and I don't know if they're the same even,
Hmm.
because I might be my mental problems might be me, or we might not have anything to do with each other.
Hmm. Is there a sense of, like, who you want to be?
There is a sense of who I want to be, and unfortunately right now it's kind of all the things that I'm not.
Hmm.
And it's all the things that my mental problems are making me be.
Yeah.
Is I want to be the opposite of all of those.
Hmm.
You know, so
I get
my
that.
mental problems are making me withdraw, they're making me angry, they're making me unhappy. And I don't know if that's me as a person or my mental problems or what. And I want to be somebody that is nice and kind and happy, and I try to be on the outside, but on the inside I'm not.
Hmm.
And I have to pretend to be.
Right.
And I'm trying to make that change from the outside in, and I don't know if it can happen.
Hmm. I think it can. And that's not just me being an optimist. I think it's the kind of thing of like, it's said way more often of like you can't love anyone else till you can love yourself. It goes the other way. Like if you can love someone else, then there is still the capacity to love yourself. Because the fact that you can, if you can find the good in someone else, peop, that means that like
You
it
know
means that
what
you're
you
still
need.
able to find value in people.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And I'm not saying you. Obviously, this isn't meant to be some sort of like you'll be okay if you just put your mind to it. Uh,
Oh yes.
No, but there is a certain aspect of you do have to want to change. Like I
yeah,
know that for me to get better, and I might not ever get completely better, but for my own improvement, I have to put some work in.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
And there is a certain amount of you will be all right if you put your mind to it,
yeah.
but there is more to it than that.
Yeah. It's like saying wishing on a star is gonna get you everything you want. That's not how that works. You
Mm-hmm.
can wish, but that's not really. It's not gonna just happen. You
And
have to work at it.
it's important to be able to rest on the fact that until you are able to, until you do achieve the person that at least mostly resembles the person you want to be, up until that point there are still people that love you for who you are.
Exactly.
And yeah, like I remember, like when I was having a really bad time in 2019, like one of the few things that could kind of give me some sense of who I was and who I wanted to be was doing improv. And that was something that I, for whatever reason, was able to like find that piece of myself that still wants to entertain and make other people laugh, and put that at the steering wheel. And for, for an hour long workshop or for that 2 hour show, you know, at least for other people, I am the person that I want to be for those people.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. All right, so I hijacked that question. Does anybody else want to ask?
That was no, that was a good. That was probably
That was good.
that was a really good answer. Um, who am I behind? I've been, the idea of like reputation has been something that has taken up a large amount of mental space over the last number of years. Because I've done a lot of thinking about like who I think I am and who I think I am to other people, and how different I want those, how different or similar I want those things to be. Like, there was a long time where I was a little concerned and frustrated by the fact that so many people just saw me as the guy who is good at improv or the guy who is funny. But, like, none of them really knew who I, like, what I am, what I'm like as a friend.
Two different people.
Yeah. Even within our high school group, I got really frustrated by the idea that I'm just that wholesome, sheltered Christian guy who's funny, but like, you know, I always felt like I lacked a certain element of like relevance. Just because of how I was raised.
Fair. That's reasonable. No, that's reasonable.
Yeah. And for
That's
the most part, I've learned to kind of work through it, like, and kind of come to terms with the fact that, like, however y'all see me, I can rest in the fact that you like the person that you see,
Oh, definitely.
and
There's
that does
no
help.
doubt there.
But you know, on the rough days, there are a lot of times when I'm like, I just kind of wish that I was treated as the person, as the entire whole person that I know myself to be. Like the person that, you know, went, like, spent an entire semester being, like, pretty much verbally abused by one of my profs while I was in a show, and was working through a breakup during that, and
Oh, yeah.
like I've I I've never been as depressed as I was then, and I had never been that depressed until that point. Um, and it kind of installed a new, installed a new aspect of myself afterwards, of like just having the memory of that being my life for a not insignificant amount of time.
It starts to it starts to become you, and you forget kind of who you were before that, and that's in that situation that's not a good thing,
Yeah.
because you take on those negative connotations that people project onto you, those
Yeah.
ideas, and you think maybe I am this, and if that's what people want me to be, I guess I'll be it.
Yeah. And I think that's also a part of what draws me to acting, is this idea that like acting gives me the opportunity to access parts of myself that most people don't really get to see in me on the day to day.
I like how passionate you are about bird cycles.
Exactly. It's the same thing. That the entire, like, that whole thing was funny because you very rarely hear my voice in an angry way,
Yeah.
because that's just not a normal part of my like exterior, like, of my social life.
Yeah.
I get, I have days when I'm just like by myself where I'm very easily pissed off.
Oh yeah.
As everyone does, like, reasonably so. I'd
Yeah.
be concerned if you weren't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a side of him that we rarely get to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think sometimes I wish that the possible existence of that dimension of me was acknowledged more.
Can't always be the happy-go-lucky friend at all times. Even the happy-go-lucky friends have other feelings, TM.
Yeah. And I love being like the happy-go-lucky, like cheeky friend a lot of the time. It's a fun role to play, but it's not the only role that I ever want to play.
No, of course not.
Speaking of, I'm just gonna like make a tangent off of the idea of like behind the mask. I'm curious, dude, what
Yeah.
what draws you to the Plague Doctor aesthetic?
Honestly, it started with the steampunk. I started out with a fascination from it when I joined a local steampunk group. Sorry, I'm partially distracted. Somebody else is messaging me. But yeah, I got pulled in when I was with the steampunk group, and I liked the aesthetic, and I thought, that aesthetic's kind of cool. I'm gonna do some investigation as to seeing what it is. Okay, I'm digging it. And at the point when I was starting, I was still majorly in denial about who I was. Like I
Sure.
was in denial that I was queer. I was in denial that I had body dysmorphia, something horrible. And I was in very big denial of gender dysphoria too. So, and just the thought of covering it all up and being something else, it felt nice. And
A harmicist.
a harmicist. But I was drawn in by the aesthetic initially, and then it became like I don't know how it became like a special interest of mine, but just my brain decided this is what gives you serotonin at all times. And now that I've actually joined a community where it's like, hey, there's a whole other people that they also like this kind of thing. It's taken it to a whole other level, because it used to be just kind of like this background special interest that if somebody asked me about it, I'd have all these cool facts for them,
Nice.
and whatnot. But it started getting built, and it took on its own persona, and it evolved, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
It's a
But
very
just
cool
the-
aesthetic, and
Yes.
but it's
You could hide everything. You could just be a doctor.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter your credentials, doesn't matter your experience. Are you there to help somebody? Yes. Are you there to commit medical atrocities? Also probably. But like, there is no one behind there. It is just the doctor.
Yeah.
It
You
comes
carry a
with the
certain
territory.
air about you as soon as you walk in. You are either feared or loved immediately.
Mm. The two genders.
Fear and love, yeah.
There is only two genders, pain and suffering. Home Depot and Lowe's, and this is Rona erasure.
Wow.
No, I'm a Canadian
I
Tire
prefer
girl.
Michaels or Claire's.
You're a Canadian Tire. Oh my god. I've heard about
Ace
those.
Hardware, what is this liberal bullshit?
But Ace is the place of the helpful hardware folks.
Sorry, guys. I still identify as Totem.
Oh, that's a
Damn.
gender.
Call that.
Sorry,
Gender.
but I'm a Michael's craft store.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm a Dulux Paints.
That is like to say you were a Michael's craft store is like saying the
Oh.
equivalent of like in every way but physically, I am a wolf.
I'm a wolf.
That is what you saying a Michael's craft store to what we're saying is like. Like that is what you were saying.
Hi,
I hope you know that.
I'm a future shop in 2021.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. What are the best and worst parts of human nature?
Best parts, pack bonding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pack bonding is such a blessing.
The ability to cook as well. That one. That's pretty high on my list.
Make real funky tasting things.
Like, I
Mm.
really like good shit.
I also really like the fact that we can just create shit out of nowhere.
Yeah.
The
Like,
human
it
mind
is so funky.
brilliant.
Genuinely,
like, you'll
though,
just be bored really.
even
Like,
if it's
that's why I love doing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
even if it's not out of nowhere, like, the idea that we can like take whatever stuff we know or have experienced or can like anything that we can perceive, we can make something out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
Um,
Bonk, what were you
Either
saying?
that or we figure out how to
That's
make
why-
something of it.
Yeah.
That's why I love like just the idea of being an artist. So you're just like you'll just be sitting there, it's like dragon, and then just draw it.
yeah.
Yeah.
The idea, so I'm reminded of this from the most recent Philosophy Tube video, where she talks about the most recent David Bowie album,
Yeah.
and like the fact that like David Bowie knew he was gonna die and decided that he was gonna use his own death to create art that people can enjoy after he's gone. So like the fact that we're able to do anything resembling that is remarkable.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Yeah. No, it's reasonable.
Because that's why I also like being a creator of this like art in general. Because like the thing is with like my mind with art is like it just kind of happens, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's like
Like I have an idea, and then my brain will just be like, you know what? I'm not even going to like let you know what I'm doing, but you're going to be doing this the entire time.
yeah. The other thing is like the whole thing of like whenever I like end up writing a song, I only ever write songs in order to like deal with like complicated emotions that I have about things. Just because there's something about like music that can help you both express exactly what it is you're feeling and also gives you the freedom to not work through all of it.
Yes.
Like you can just leave some of it up to interpretation, and that's okay.
Yeah.
By
Only
reminding them
fans.
that
All
I
right.
was a rock and now I go.
Thanks.
I had
Matt,
We already
my
said that.
I had
Matt
a
agrees that water is lava.
yeah. I had a
Thanks,
fun
Matt.
time signing off while still in the chat last time, so I think I'm gonna do it this time. So,
Bye, everyone.
Alright.
thank you all
Night,
for
night, night.
watching.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you for watching.
Good night.
Uh,
Yeah.
if you're watching the VOD on Twitch, hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't followed me, then I would love it if you did that. You can see that I've got my follower goal so that I can eventually become an affiliate. That'd be nice. If you want, you can also go and subscribe to me on YouTube. That is a thing you can do. If you're already watching on YouTube, because this is some sort of edited, cobbled together mishmash of the past 2.5 hours, or just 2 hours.
In 2.5 hours?
No, it's just been a little over 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
Then you can like and comment on that, and then also subscribe and ring the bell. You have so many
All the
options.
Do
And
all
I'm-
the notification things.
Exactly.
We've been talking all night about how nice it is to create things. Create some music by ringing that bell.
Exactly.
Ooh, that's
Exactly.
a good one.
And with that,
Nice.
we'll see you later.